See, a lot of ADOS people, man, are just, even though ADOS people go through a lot, and they do, and I'll say this, they paved the way for other minorities, including Africans. They don't understand or have no idea about Africa, speaking on it from a position of living in America. And I know that's kind of irritating to Africans. It's like you don't know who we really are and how we see ourselves and how we go through life. And it just kind of, it just, when those people talking about we want to take on the religions in Africa before the so-called white man came over. I mean, it just shows to ignorance because one of two things has to be happening, right? Just pure ignorance or you just wicked, man. Because if you really get into those practices that they do over there, you realize what it really takes. You realize what it really takes to have any kind of success or stability in a lot of these African countries, right? Especially in West Africa, South Africa. To get any kind of success, you have to indulge into witchcraft. Witchcraft is very heavy in these countries, right? Just like in Haiti, in other parts of the Caribbean, and that stuff is real, man. Witchcraft it's normalized, right? You have a witch doctor living right across the street from you, even in the Caribbean, place like Jamaica, man. Like I had a girl out there. See, that's why what you got to understand. Like once you start talking about the Caribbean and then Africans, they don't engage into modern warfare like ADOS people do, right? See, ADOS people when we get mad, we like to shoot you and fight you, but those people they don't get into that. They see the bare minimum is they'll shoot you, then from there they start putting curses on you, right? It's not uncommon, even in the Caribbean, you'll see a person walking around looking like a zombie because somebody put a curse on them. That's how the women deal with each other. You ain't gonna see a whole bunch of women that's fighting each other like that, right? You're not because they know they could just go to a witch doctor. And so you hear these crazy stories. It's not just voodoo going on over there in Africa. Right? You got people who is giving themselves to these marine spirits, sacrificing to these marine spirits, and I am sure this was going on even since the times before slavery. And that's how we ended up here in the first damn place. Not to mention voodoo. All the gods they worship are evil, man. Why? Because it requires them to ultimately do evil stuff. So you those people only get a taste of that stuff, man. All right, y'all be gathering rocks and crystals and charms, and other objects and doing all these different chantings and other stuff, right? And it's cute. And that's more of a way of when a lot of those people come here, that's the way they make money. They're not going to tell you the real. They're not going to tell you what it took to get to a higher level. They're not going to tell you that kind of stuff. And that's the reality a lot of you ADOS don't want to hear. All right? And I hate when y'all say, oh, man, the Bible was used to enslave black people. They did not enslave black people with the Bible. They enslaved black people with guns and being able to work together. And when they taught black people the Bible, they didn't teach them the whole entire Bible. They gave them a watered down version of it. It didn't tell them the whole Bible. Because if black folks would have learned the whole Bible, would have been biblically literate, right? They would have rebelled against that, right? You guys are ignorant. See, that's why they didn't want black people to read. And still to this day, black Christians particularly carry that legacy of being biblically illiterate, man. You gotta wake up. So when you're thinking about all that bloodshed going on in a place like Africa, right? All the wickedness based off that. Hell, even a place like Haiti. You see why the land is cursed. They choose to do that. The white man's not making them do that. The white man's not making them do that. You look at a place like Barbados. That place, Barbados, is prosperous because that place is a Christian nation. Haiti could easily be like a Barbados. A lot of those black countries could be like Barbados because Barbados is a Christian nation. But places like Haiti, nah. But they keep talking about the white man. Oh no, the white man. So is the white man making them doing all those human sacrifices? Was the white man making before slavery, right? But during that same time period, was the white man making us sacrifice each other to the rivers, to the water, and to the white man, right? For money and stuff like that. Did a white man make us do that too? We don't got control over what we do to each other. That's always a lame, wicked, evil excuse, man. Right? And I'm not, and I'll deal with, this whole system that we talking about, racism, slavery, all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that didn't have no kind of consequences, but I'm just saying we pretty much put so much credit to these people, like we just don't have no control over ourselves and how we treat each other. It's just sad, pathetic, and wicked. But like I said, even Africans don't want to be in Africa dealing with that type of witchcraft that I'm talking about. Not just the poverty, but what really goes on there. Because it is extreme circumstances on there. And so when y'all talk like we want to get back to our roots, they're looking at y'all like y'all don't understand what's really going on over there, man. Y'all just don't get it. And I'm so tired of ain't those people are the only people that talk like that, man. This is Mr. Shepherd, and I'm out.